Hello, Magpies. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to if you're new. Hopefully this is picking up my voice. I see it's picking up a very, very low frequency. I'm using a new mic. This is my husband's gaming mic. My Blue Yeti stopped working, unfortunately. So hopefully you can hear me. I'm sorry if you have to turn the volume all the way up. Just let me know how it sounds in the comments. But anyways, I'm sorry it's been such a long time. I really was trying to upload every week, but the microphone stopped working, and then we all got sick, and you know how life is. There's always stuff going on. Doesn't matter what day it is. There's always something going on. We all have very busy lives. But today, this video, I'm going to be doing another book review. I have a few books that I've read in the past couple weeks. And if I didn't mention it, or I did mention it in my last video, but in case you haven't seen it, I am very much into psychological thrillers. I love mind-bending books that make you question life when you're done reading it. That is my jam, that's my style. Love it. So, I did talk about Housemaid in my previous book review, The Housemaid Secret, and then this is the third of that series. This is The Housemaid is Watching. So, I'll read the backs of these, and then I'll rate them for you guys. I haven't read this one though. All the other ones I've read, love them. The first Housemaid, The Housemaid Secret, amazing books. So I'm sure this will be very similar, will be pretty much the same. So, without further ado, my past is far, far behind us, and I'll do anything to keep it that way. I used to clean other people's houses. Now, I have one of my own. The charming kitchen, the quiet cul-de-sac, the huge yard where my kids can play. My husband and I worked so hard for this life. When our new neighbors invite us to dinner, a maid opens the door. Looking at her white apron and neat hair is like looking in the mirror. I know exactly what it's like to be in her shoes. But her cold stare gives me chills. That's not the only strange thing here. I'm sure I see a shadowy figure watching us. My husband leaves the house late at night, and one woman's words chill me to the bone. Be careful of your neighbors. I thought I'd left my darkest secrets behind, but could this quiet street be the most dangerous place of all? How far can one woman go to protect the life she so carefully built for herself? The Housemaid returns in this pulse-pounding roller coaster of a thriller from Sunday Times bestselling author Frida McFadden. I've been obsessed with her books. 1, 2, 3 of the books out of the 5 I'm going to show you are by her. She's just an amazing author. She can hold your attention so easily. There's so many plot twists in her books. As soon as you think you figured out where she's going with the characters and the plot, she just throws you in a loop and you are completely wrong. So, love it. The Housemaid, the first one, 10 out of 10. The Housemaid Secret, honestly, it's hard to have the same reputation as the original. It's hard for it to be as great as the original. The originals are usually always the best. So I'd say The Housemaid Secret was like an 8 out of 10. It was still really suspenseful, still thrilling, but it just didn't capture my attention as good or as well as the first one did. The first one was just incredible. I read it in 2 days. I could have read it in 1, but I have a toddler, so I read it in 2 days. And I'm sure I'll read this one very quickly as well, because I've been looking forward to this. She just released this book. It just released, I want to say the 11th of June, and today is the 23rd, so it's fairly new. I'm excited to read it. The next book I have, I'll do another by her, is called Never Lie. And this one was great. This one was fantastic. I loved this book. I would give this one also a 10 out of 10, just like the first Housemaid. It just had me hooked the whole time. I believe I also read this one in 2 days. She's just such a good author. And this one was very dark. The Housemaid was also dark, but this was very dark. And I'll go ahead and read the back for you guys. Sometimes the truth kills. Newlyweds Trisha and Ethan are searching for the house of their dreams. They think they found it when they visit the remote manor that once belonged to Dr. Adrian Hall. Or Hale. Hale, I'm not sure. Probably Hale. A renowned psychologist who vanished without a trace years ago. But when a violent winter storm traps them at the estate, the house begins to lose its appeal. Stuck inside and growing restless, Trisha stumbles on a collection of audio transcripts from Dr. Hale's sessions with patients. As Trisha listens to the cassette tapes, she learns about the terrifying chain of events leading up to the doctor's mysterious disappearance. With each tape, another shocking piece of the puzzle falls into place, and a web of lies slowly unravels. But by the time Trisha reaches the final cassette, the one that reveals the entire horrifying story, it will be too late. From New York Times bestselling author Frida McFadden comes an addictive, unpredictable thriller that will keep you asking the question, what is the truth? I thought I knew exactly where she was going with this book because I read The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret. I was like, I understand her writing style. I can tell when she's going to throw a plot twist in there. But boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong. She knows what she's doing. She knows that we're going to read it and think a certain way and predict the book a certain way, and she twists it 180. She completely changes it. It's fantastic. She's very, very, very talented. So that's Never Lie. I thought my cat was outside. Alright, we'll just keep with the theme, and I'll do the third Frida McFadden book that I read in the past couple weeks. This one is The Teacher. Did I say Never Lie? I gave that a 10 out of 10. I'd give The Teacher a 7 out of 10. It wasn't a bad book. It wasn't poorly written or anything. It just wasn't as messed up as I wanted it to be. A little bit predictable, if I'm being honest. The character development was great. But I think with this one, the first half of the book was pretty, to me, just felt like a bunch of filler. And then the second half is when all of the drama and craziness went down, was in the second half of the book. Again, it's not a bad book. I liked it. I would read it again. I would recommend it. But I think it lacks a little bit in comparison to The Housemaid and Never Lie. I do plan on reading more of her books. I don't have any more currently, but besides the third one of The Housemaid over there that I showed you first, but I'm gonna get some more. If you have any recommendations for her books, I know The Inmate is supposed to be pretty good. The Wife Upstairs, I believe is what it's called, is supposed to be pretty good. Cell D is pretty good. Let me know in the comments what you think. But yeah, The Teacher, it just wasn't as twisted as I hoped, but still a decent book. All right, next we will talk about wait, did I even read the back? I didn't read the back, you guys. I'm so sorry. The back of The Teacher reads, Lesson number 1, trust no one. Eve has a good life. She gets up each day, gets a kiss from her husband, and heads off to teach math at the local high school. All is as it should be, except last year, Kasem High was rocked by a scandal involving a student-teacher affair with one student, Addie, at its center. But Eve knows there's far more to these ugly rumors that meets the eye. Addie can't be trusted. She lies. She hurts people. She destroys lives. At least that's what everybody says. But nobody knows the real Addie. Nobody knows the secrets that could destroy her if people at the school found out. And when Eve discovers the shocking truth, Addie will do anything to keep the quiet. From Sunday Times bestselling author Frida McFadden comes a story of twisting secrets and long-awaited revenge. It does have some more of her books on the back. The Coworker, One by One, The Locked Door, and then one of my favorites, Never Lie, the one that I showed you guys. Alright, sorry about that. I almost didn't tell you anything about that book. Next, we are going to talk about Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Lisa Jewell is another well-known psychological thriller author. This book was incredible. I had a couple friends tell me that they read this book and it scarred them for some time. Sorry, my nose itches. They told me that it scarred them for some time because it is very, very messed up. It had so many plot twists. I can't even like summarize this book because there were so many plot twists. It was insane. I think I read this one in like 3 days, just because it's so intense. I had to like constantly put it down and, you know, give it time and then pick it up again later on. It's very, very sad. I don't know if I cried reading it, but it's very sad. Hence the title, Then She Was Gone. So the back reads, oh, I know I keep giving books 10 out of 10s, but they're really good. 10 out of 10. She was 15, her mother's golden girl. She had her whole life ahead of her. And then, in the blink of an eye, Ellie was gone. 10 years on, Laurel has never given up hope of finding Ellie. And then she meets a charming and charismatic stranger who sweeps her off her feet. But what really takes her breath away is when she meets his 9-year-old daughter. Because his daughter is the image of Ellie. Now all those unanswered questions that have haunted Laurel come flooding back. What really happened to Ellie? And who has secrets to hide? A tense, clever page-turner that everyone will be talking about. Deeply emotional and incredibly clever. Utterly gripping and startlingly original. Very, very sad. Very twisted. It's pretty intense. But I liked it. 10 out of 10. I like psychological stuff. I like books that make me question reality when I'm done reading it and make me think like, what do I do with my life now besides buy another book? So really, really good. Honestly, I think out of all the ones I've shown, I have one more, but even including the last book, this is probably my favorite. If I were to recommend a psychological thriller, it would be this one, for sure. And I need to buy more of her books. Lisa Jewell. Alright, the last book, I actually haven't finished reading this one. I am on chapter 36 out of 42. Perhaps, maybe there's more than 42. Hold on. 36 out of, I don't want to read like, okay, out of 42. It's like I'm trying not to read the end, but I want to know how many chapters. So I'm almost done. This one is called Reminders of Him, a novel by Colleen Hoover. Another psychological thriller author. This one is very good. It's not like thrilling, so to speak, but it is really great. It is easy to read. She captures your attention really well. It's just taking me a while to read it because it's not as like psychological and mind-bending as the other books. but it's still nice. It's more romantic, I'd say, like a romance thriller. But I like it. I would give this, so far, I mean, I haven't finished it, so I can't really rank it. But so far, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Just because, again, it's not the genre that I would lean towards. I'm not really into like romantic books or movies. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hopeless romantic and I don't like being reminded of it by reading and watching romantic things. But it's good. So let me read the book. A young mother fights to earn a place in her child's life. But is there room for her? After serving 5 years in prison for a tragic mistake, Kenna Rowan returns to the town where it all went wrong, hoping to reunite with her 4-year-old daughter. But the bridge Kenna burned and providing impossible to rebuild. Everyone in her daughter's life is determined to shut Kenna out no matter how hard she works to prove herself. The only person who hasn't closed the door on her completely is Ledger Ward, a local bar owner and one of the few remaining links to Kenna's daughter. But if anyone were to discover how Ledger is slowly becoming an important part of Kenna's life, both would risk losing the trust of everyone important to them. The two form a connection despite the pressure surrounding them, but as their romance grows, so does the risk. Kenna must find a way to absolve the mistakes of her past in order to build a future out of hope and healing. So, that is the end. So we had 5 books that I've read in the past few weeks. I mean, I haven't finished Reminders of Him, but I'm almost done. And then I'm going to read the third Housemaid's book. And then I'm going to purchase probably some more Lisa Jewell. I really liked her writing style in Then She Was Gone. Again, I recommend that one if you're looking to start reading psychological thrillers. That would be my #1 recommendation. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got some book suggestions. If you have any suggestions yourself, please leave them in the comments below. And please let me know how the audio is. It's picking up really low, so hopefully you don't have to turn your volume all the way up, and hopefully you can actually hear me talk. But anyways, I can try to edit that, I guess. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, morning, whatever time it is where you are. And I love you all. Thank you, Magpies, for being supportive and continuing to watch my channel. Okay, bye.